In this video, we will talk about the financial side of the way private collections impact archaeology. One of the good things that private collectors can do is some of them have rescued artifacts by buying them up. By purchasing artifacts that are in danger or degrading, collectors can preserve artifacts that other institutions might not have gotten to. Private collectors can generally move faster than institutions like universities or museums, so some artifacts that are under threat might be saved by the quick action of private collectors. Sometimes private collectors will save artifacts from street markets. Never mind that those markets are created by a demand for artifacts, but anyways. Another good thing that private collectors bring to the table is that they generally have more money than universities and museums. With the leeways of speed and money, it's easier for private collectors to acquire artifacts and hopefully one day donate them to a museum or an academic institution. Additionally, complete private collections can actually be set up as their own museum or donated in full to an existing museum. And that's great! Wonderful examples of this are the Getty Museums and the Huntington Collection. I would highly recommend visiting the Getty Villa. It's an incredible institution. Now this sort of giant, entire collection donation is fantastic, but there is a downside to it. Often the collector has been holding onto these items for decades or even over half a century, effectively restricting public access to them during that time. So with these sorts of collections turned museums, there are pros and cons. And of course, not every private collector donates their collection, many just keep the artifacts for themselves. You can also get sketchy situations. An example of this is the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C., which is owned by the family that sells Dixie cups, and their museum has some less savory methods of acquisition and a history of illegally smuggling and purchasing artifacts. So yeah, there can definitely be some sketchiness going on. As you can see, the financial side of this issue is pretty messy, but if you want the creme de la creme of complexity, you should watch the next video in this series about the ethical side of this whole issue. See you in the next video.